In relationships, it can be hard to tell whether someone is being genuine or simply stringing you along. A girl who is playing you will often give mixed signals, leaving you confused and emotionally drained. To protect yourself from unnecessary heartache, it's essential to recognize the signs early. Here are 5 clear indicators that a girl might not have serious intentions with you. 1. She's hot and cold. When a girl is interested in you, her actions are usually consistent. However, if she's playing games, her behavior will be anything but steady. One day, she's attentive and affectionate, texting or calling you constantly, making you feel like you're the center of her world. The next day, she might go silent, leaving your messages unread, ignoring your calls, or acting distant without any explanation. This erratic behavior, commonly referred to as being hot and cold, is a strong indicator that she's not being genuine. This inconsistency isn't random, it's a tactic. By alternating between showing affection and withdrawing it, she creates an emotional push and pull dynamic. This leaves you feeling confused, constantly trying to figure out where you stand and chasing after her attention whenever she pulls away. In psychology, this is known as intermittent reinforcement, a strategy that makes you more attached by creating unpredictability. A girl who truly cares for you won't leave you in a state of emotional limbo. Her actions will align with her words, and you won't have to guess whether she's interested in you or not. It's important to recognize that this kind of hot and cold behavior is a form of manipulation. Whether intentional or not, it keeps you invested in the relationship while she exerts control over the pace and direction of it. What can you do if you notice this behavior? First, don't fall into the trap of overanalyzing her every move or trying to win her affection. This only gives her more power over the situation. Instead, take a step back and evaluate how this dynamic is affecting your emotional well-being. Communicate openly about how her inconsistency makes you feel, and if she's unwilling to address it or continues the same behavior, it may be time to distance yourself. Remember, you deserve someone who is clear about their feelings and consistent in their actions. A relationship should be a source of mutual trust and stability, not a constant guessing game. If someone's hot and cold behavior leaves you doubting their intentions, it's a sign they may not value you as much as you deserve. Instead of chasing after them, prioritize your emotional health and focus on finding someone who reciprocates your effort wholeheartedly. 2. She keeps you at arm's length. When a girl keeps you at arm's length, it's a clear sign that she's not fully invested in building a genuine connection with you. This behavior is often subtle, but it's rooted in her unwillingness to let you get too close. She might enjoy the attention and emotional support you provide, but she avoids making any deeper commitments or allowing the relationship to progress naturally. One way she keeps you at a distance is by being vague about her feelings or intentions. She may dodge direct questions about where things are headed, give non-committal answers, or change the subject entirely. For instance, if you bring up topics about exclusivity, future plans, or even spending more meaningful time together, she might laugh it off or redirect the conversation without providing clarity. This creates an emotional barrier that leaves you feeling uncertain about your place in her life. Another tactic is limiting how much she shares about herself. While you may open up and share your thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities, she keeps things surface level. She might tell you just enough to keep you intrigued but never reveal anything deeply personal. This lack of reciprocity in emotional sharing can make you feel like the relationship is one-sided. Physical boundaries can also be a sign. While she may engage in flirtatious behavior or light affection, she avoids intimacy or physical closeness that could signal a deeper level of trust and connection. This isn't about taking things slow or respecting boundaries. It's about her deliberately maintaining a safe distance to keep you from getting too close. The most frustrating aspect of this behavior is the mixed signals. She might do just enough to keep you interested, sending flirty texts, complimenting you, or agreeing to hang out occasionally, but she never fully lets you into her life. This push and pull dynamic can leave you feeling emotionally drained as you try to decipher her true intentions. What's important to remember here is that a meaningful relationship requires mutual effort and emotional availability. If someone is consistently keeping you at arm's length, it's often because they're either unsure about you or unwilling to invest fully. Rather than chasing after someone who's holding back, recognize the value of your time and energy. Communicate your needs clearly, and if she's unwilling to meet you halfway, it might be time to move on. A healthy relationship should feel balanced, with both partners equally invested in building something real. 3. She only reaches out when it benefits her. When a girl only reaches out to you when it benefits her, it's a glaring red flag that her intentions may not be genuine. This kind of behavior suggests she's more focused on what she can gain from you rather than building a meaningful, reciprocal connection. It's not about mutual care or interest, it's about convenience and personal gain. You might notice that her communication patterns are sporadic and self-serving. She rarely checks in to see how you're doing or initiates conversations just to connect. Instead, her messages and calls come when she needs something from you. This could range from asking for a favor, seeking emotional support during a tough time, or even needing someone to boost her confidence when she's feeling low. It's not about you, it's about her and what you can provide in the moment. For example, she might reach out when she needs help with something practical, like a ride, assistance with a project, or even borrowing money. She'll likely phrase her requests in a way that makes it seem harmless. But over time, you'll start to notice a pattern. Her interactions with you are primarily transactional. Emotionally, this behavior can be even more draining. She might text you when she's feeling upset, lonely, or needs validation. While it's natural to want to support someone you care about, it becomes problematic when she never reciprocates. You find yourself always being the one to comfort her, while your own needs are ignored or brushed aside. Socially, she might include you only when it serves her interests. Perhaps she invites you to events when she needs someone to accompany her or uses you as a buffer in social situations. Once the event is over or her needs are met, she disappears again until the next time she requires something. What's even more telling is the lack of effort she puts in when you try to reach out to her. If you're the one initiating conversations or suggesting plans, she might respond half-heartedly, delay her replies, or even ghost you until it suits her to re-engage. This imbalance is a clear sign that the relationship is one-sided. The truth is, someone who only reaches out when it benefits them isn't interested in building a real connection. They see you as a resource rather than a person they value. While it's easy to rationalize this behavior, thinking she's just busy or going through a tough time, it's important to recognize the pattern and protect your own emotional well-being. A healthy relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, thrives on mutual effort and genuine care. If you find yourself in a dynamic where you're only valued for what you can provide, it's time to reassess the situation. Prioritize relationships where both parties are equally invested and genuinely care for each other, rather than wasting time and energy on someone who only sees you as a means to an end. 4. She flirts with others without concern. When a girl flirts openly with others without showing any concern for your feelings, it's a sign that she may not take your connection seriously. This kind of behavior can feel dismissive and disrespectful, especially if you've started developing feelings for her or assumed there was potential for something more meaningful between you two. Flirting itself isn't inherently wrong, but context and intention matter a lot. If she's supposed to be building a connection with you, yet she's constantly giving attention to others in a flirtatious way, it creates confusion and insecurity. It sends mixed signals. On one hand, she may show you enough affection to keep you interested, but on the other, her actions suggest she's not committed or focused on you. For example, she might openly compliment other guys, touch them playfully, or engage in suggestive conversations while you're present. She could dismiss this behavior by saying she's just friendly or that it doesn't mean anything. But the consistent pattern of flirting in your presence, or even behind your back, indicates a lack of respect for your feelings. Worse still, if you bring up how her behavior makes you feel, she might brush it off, accuse you of being insecure, or even gaslight you into believing that you're overreacting. This is a deflection tactic to avoid accountability for her actions. A girl who genuinely cares about you would acknowledge your feelings and adjust her behavior to make sure you feel valued and respected. This behavior often stems from a desire for validation. She may enjoy the attention she gets from others and crave the sense of power or admiration it brings. Unfortunately, when someone prioritizes external validation over building a solid connection with you, it suggests her intentions are superficial. She's more focused on maintaining her options or boosting her ego than on creating a genuine bond. Another sign to watch for is if she seems to enjoy making you jealous. If her flirting feels deliberate, and she appears to gauge your reaction, It could be a manipulation tactic. Some people thrive on the emotional control they have when others feel insecure or unsettled. And this can be a toxic dynamic to fall into. The bottom line is that a person who flirts openly with others without regard for your feelings is likely not invested in you the way you deserve. A healthy connection requires mutual respect and trust. If her actions consistently make you feel like you're competing for her attention or that your value in her life is conditional, it's worth stepping back and reevaluating the relationship. Someone who truly cares about you will make you feel secure, not uncertain. They won't seek validation from others at your expense or disregard your emotions. By recognizing this behavior for what it is, you can protect your self-worth and prioritize relationships where respect and commitment are the foundation. 5. She refuses to define the relationship. When a girl avoids defining the relationship, it's often a clear sign that her intentions may not align with yours. If you've been seeing each other for a while, spending time together, and building a connection, but she repeatedly skirts around conversations about where things are headed, it can leave you feeling confused and uncertain. This refusal to define the relationship might indicate that she's keeping you as an option rather than a priority. A woman who genuinely values and respects you will want clarity in the relationship. She'll seek to ensure that you're both on the same page about your feelings and intentions. However, when someone consistently avoids this conversation, it could mean that she's not fully invested or is unwilling to commit. This behavior might stem from fear of commitment, uncertainty about her feelings, or even an intention to keep her options open while enjoying the benefits of your attention. For example, you might bring up the subject of exclusivity, only for her to respond with vague statements like, "I'm not ready to label this yet," or, "Let's just see where things go." While it's normal for people to want to take their time in new relationships, persistent ambiguity after a reasonable amount of time together is a red flag. If every attempt to clarify your relationship status is met with deflection, excuses, or an outright refusal to discuss it, it's worth questioning why she's reluctant to commit. Sometimes, this refusal is a form of control. By keeping the relationship undefined, she retains the power to dictate the terms of your connection. This setup allows her to benefit from your time, effort, and affection without fully reciprocating or feeling accountable. It puts you in a position of emotional limbo, where you're left guessing her true intentions while she avoids any responsibility for your feelings. It's also possible that she's maintaining this ambiguity because she's not as invested in the relationship as you are. She may enjoy the companionship and attention you provide but isn't interested in building a deeper or more exclusive connection. In some cases, she might even be keeping you on the back burner while pursuing other opportunities. Another subtle but telling behavior is how she reacts when you express a desire for clarity. If she becomes defensive, accuses you of pressuring her, or tries to guilt-trip you for bringing it up, it's a sign that she's deflecting to avoid accountability. A healthy, mature relationship should allow open and honest communication about expectations without fear of judgment or manipulation. Ultimately, a woman who truly cares about you and sees a future together will not hesitate to define the relationship when the time feels right. She will be willing to have honest discussions about her feelings and where she sees things going. On the other hand, someone who consistently avoids these conversations is likely signaling that she's not ready, or willing, to invest in the relationship on the same level as you. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to prioritize your own emotional well-being. Don't settle for ambiguity or stay in a dynamic that leaves you feeling undervalued or unsure of where you stand. Be upfront about your needs and boundaries. And if she continues to avoid defining the relationship, it may be time to step back and reassess whether this connection is truly serving you. Remember, you deserve clarity, respect, and someone who is as committed to you as you are to them.